Hey gamers, welcome back to Banished Souls Cryptic Gaming here. So, been having some questions about where do I get SP so quick to finish off the pass, but also what is a great way to grind up to get your Kingpin rank? Well, that's going to be with your SP or your Infamy points as well. You've got several options. You can pick up missions off the job board, you can pick up bounties, you can actually go over to like the blacksmith and pick up some missions. There's Skurlock and Rim and run all the old missions. Is up to you. But what I would recommend is coming over here. This is still the top way in my opinion, guys. You're going to come over, you're going to go to your supply network, and you're going to pick up a couple of, there should be about 4 or 5 roving dudes. You're going to pick these up. You're going to destroy the helm liaison out there, El Escal. You're going to destroy that. That's just off the coast of La Michael. So you want to go out there, Il Michel. I'm not sure how you pronounce that island there. But you're going to travel off that coast, sink that guy. It's going to give you a helm wanted wager. Go back in to the fast travel area, drop off your supplies, come back here to the smuggler's den. You have a wanted level by the helm at that point. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to pick up some of these, and it has to be roving again, these roving missions. Now when you sink this liaison, you're going to get the 274 and the 266 value of the pieces of 8, which is pretty cool. You don't have to worry about carrying the skull rum and all that mess with you. But along the way there, what you want to be doing is you want to be just basically farming any and all helm ships. You're going to have a helm wanted level from where you destroyed this helm liaison. And as you come down, the best way I've found is you want to come all the way down to the southern tip. You're going to pick up more spawns this way. And then come around, swing back up over the oubliette here, and then swing down. You're going to have a helm liaison here that you're going to have to destroy. Hit all the helm ships you can hit to begin with. Destroy everything you can. When that spawn really starts to slow down, go ahead and destroy that ship. Okay? Come back here, fast travel. Go to a fast travel point that's going to give you some pieces of 8 where you can pick them up very quickly and hang around this area. If you come up into here, you're going to have a lot of fireboats. You want to hang around the St. Anne's southern port here. You're going to have sharpshooters and broadsiders down here. And just hang around with those pieces of 8. You now have a death wanted level on you because you've blown up 2 liaisons. They're going to be coming after you. And basically just sit here and just farm these guys around. As you start to see that you're filling up, you can come swing back up into St. Anne if you want to. And drop off your 8s when you get tired. Or what you can do, what I typically do is I swing into Verona Falls. Just drop in here, do whatever kind of repairs I got to do, drop off my cargo, come back out and farm it up. Now you have about an hour's worth of farming from that, and that's going to be the most effective method of farming. That's going to be more effective than actually just carrying the helms. Now if you have 2 or 3 people with you and they're all carrying helms, roving missions to deliver, then yeah, you're going to get really great spawn rates, and y'all can continue to just farm those guys out. So that's typically the way I do it. Now last season we showed you where you would take the Lepest heads and we would come out in front of St. Anne here and we would just tear off one huge battle and just take on the Lepest fleets. Now the course fleets, you have a part that you can use, the course fleet parts, but one of the things I've noticed, they do not spawn as regularly. But not only that, they don't really carry anything on them, maybe a little bit of silver. When I say a little bit, I mean a very small amount of silver. And maybe if you're lucky, a cannonball crate. That's going to be it. And you occasionally, eventually will get a ship that looks slightly different, but pretty much the same as the other ones. It's just a little bit darker sail. They're going to come out, you sink them, and then you will get another one of those component parts. That's it. That's all you're getting from those. Not a very good drop rate. Hoping to see that that's going to change at some point. That's just my opinion on it, man. I just take them to Blackwood and turn that stuff in. I had been keeping them. I ended up putting 16 of them in there today just because I don't run them. They're just not worth the farm. I've come out and I've farmed around a little bit back when they had the 1 million ship challenge, which, by the way, we've actually smashed, and they are putting that reward out for those of you who registered. You want to go in to your Ubisoft app. I believe you can actually access it here as well. If you go to Ubisoft Connect, you're going to be able to go inside Ubisoft Connect and find that. It's going to be 10 reward. It's going to be 10 upgrade part reward is what you got for that. That's if you registered and if you competed, meaning you helped destroy at least 1 ship during that time. So you got those 10 upgrade parts coming. So that's pretty awesome on there. But really, I mean, that is the most effective method of farming. You can, if you just don't care if you just get 50 points, you know, maybe you're farming with a big group and all you're getting is 75 points or something. What I would recommend, get into a sandbuck and then just come up, drop off into this pillar tomb here, and just travel down all through these tributaries. And just shoot anything and everything you see. You're going to get 50 XP for each ship that you sink. Now you do get the 170 to 180 points hitting those helm ships. So I do recommend farming that. It's going to give you great helm materials. Make sure you're picking up the raw materials to keep your stuff going, because one of the things you're going to find out pretty quick as you start upgrading these ships, you're going to run out of upgrade parts. Even if you started with quite a few, you're going to run low on upgrade parts. So one of the best way to get upgrade parts, you're going to buy some at the oubliette. You can buy 1 per hour there. You can buy 1 per hour from Skurlock and 1 per hour from Rema. So a good way to keep that currency running is just be picking up the Gold Skull products, getting that stuff built up, and it's 2,000 Gold Skull products to be able to get your final refinement. I know it's called Black Opium up north, but your final refined products will cost 2,000 for an upgrade part. You can do that once per hour as well. So I've been kind of doing that today, and of course just coming down here to the oubliette. We'll actually come down here and show you who you need to talk to get those upgrade parts, because someone was asking, how do I get upgrade parts? I'm running low. Well, every hour you got to come in here and buy some. And if you were smart and you actually took and you saved up all of that silver essence stuff that the Roadman gun was dropped, or Vengeful Essence it's called, you should have quite a bit of that saved up. You're going to come over here and you're going to buy an upgrade part for 200. There you go. So we now have an upgrade part. We can do that every hour. So if you do that for 4 or 5 times a day, you got 90 days. I don't know how many's actually left in the past. Let's see. We've got 72 days left in the past. So if you get 2 per day and aren't using them, if you've done everything you can, but continue to get them. But say if you started today, you'd have over 144 parts. Is what you'd have going into next season. So I would recommend start getting them, even if you're using them, especially if you're using them. Keep your stock up if you can, guys. So I hope that kind of answers how you're going to be able to farm, what you're going to be able to farm. Now, if you're looking for rare materials, I'm going to go ahead and go over this briefly. Understand there is a lot of materials here. If you're looking for a great place to get sand, team up with a friend. The reason I say team up is it's going to have a higher payout. For casting sand, Jiwi is the capital settlement right here. We're just hovering right above it. That is just north of the Navigator's Cross. This is a great place to plunder. You're going to get about 17 sand if you have a friend traveling with you. Otherwise, you're getting anywhere between 7 and 8. So definitely have a friend with you, just someone random. Another great place to come up is over here. Let's find it. Yeah, so this here is going to give you this Zangdad here. My bad, folks. Sunny Capital is going to give you shellac. It's going to give you rubber. It's going to give you capital relics as well. Great place to hit. Really nice spot. If you're needing glass, now there is no place that has refined glass, but what you can do is you can come down here and buy some at, make sure we're in the right area here. You can buy some glass over here at Houston Capital. You get, I think it's 3 sheets you can buy. And as you come up, you want to spawn in right here at the Necropolis. You're going to see ships that look like snows and they have white sails. Let's go over there. I'll show you where they're at. This is the best way to get glass, because some of these ships will carry 10 pieces on them. Not all of them. Some of them will have 4 or 5. But if you're traveling with a friend, expect them to carry between 7 and 10 per ship. And don't be surprised to see pretty good sized groupings of ships when you're traveling with a friend. We're just going to tool around the corner here and let you see what I see when I come up this way. I hit random stuff, man. So while like that fort out there at Jiwi will be healing up, I come out here and I farm glass up, and then I'll come over and then I'll go hit like Sunny Capital that gets me my shellac. And a lot of the ships up through those passes carry shellac, so definitely scope everybody out. If you don't know what I mean, hit your right joystick. It's going to bring it periscope. Zoom in until you can see what the ship is carrying. And look for those materials you're needing, because a lot of those ships up towards Sunny Capital up here where you're going to pick that shellac up, well, a lot of these ships up in these tributaries, guess what they're carrying? They're carrying a lot of shellac. So even along the eastern coast of where Talak Panjara, the main island there in the Indies, if you come up that right-hand side of it, the east side, you're going to find a ton of shellac over that way, man. A lot of crude saltpeter as well. So what we're looking for is we're looking for ships with white sails. So obviously not that guy. My guess is, it's hard to see with the fog, but let's get a little closer here. So again, not white sail. You can see color. It's going to be a completely white sail, like this guy right here. So he has sheet glass on him. Let's see how much sheet glass he has. But that's what the ship looks like. That is the ship that's carrying the glass. It is a DMC Snow with white sails. I mean, that has the top runners that are colored, but okay, so we ended up with one sheet glass off of it. That was kind of a small one. Let's see, we might actually have another ship over here. So you're going to get better payouts. Nope, that's colored sails. You'll get better payouts traveling with a friend, even if your friend's not directly near you. Just having somebody in your group is going to be great for that. Probably should have had someone jump in. I didn't think about getting that scheduled, but and more colored sails. So we want to take and see exactly where Houston's at. It's down here, Houston Capital. We're too far north. We're not going to see them this far up this way. You can see them down around south of the oubliette and just to the east of the oubliette, but you get more spawns up this way. In fact, that looks like some of that back in here. At least 2 ships. So this is how you farm your glass. Now you can go plunder cities and stuff like that, man. That takes way too long. Easier to spawn this, get what glass you can, jump over, get you some dry casting sand, jump over there to Sunny Capital, get you some shellac, then come back down here and you're ready to hit those glass ships again and just be making fun of it. So we've got sheet glass there, sheet glass here. It's also got rubber on those ships as well. So we ended up picking up a couple of sheet glass, and then one off of that one there too. So they're not paying out nowhere near as well as not being in a big team. But hey guys, like I said, you can do it solo. It just takes longer. But then you would just come back up and either hit Sunny Capital or hit the other ones, the other locations. You can come in here as long as you don't have a DMC wanted level. You can buy your sheet glass from over here. And I recommend, even if you're going, well, I'll do my see, what is it that needs so much sheet glass? The Patagon, maybe? It seemed like the Brig, if I recall right. So those ships needed a ton of glass. So it's going to take you a while to save up that stuff. So just add it to your routine and hitting it every day. I mean, if you're picking up, 100 a day or 7 a day or whatever, it's going to add up in time. You're going to get out of your farming what you put into it. If you only put 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, then no, you're not going to be able to upgrade your ships very quickly, unfortunately. Now, something else that I'm doing, now I'm going to show you the I won't say the easy way. We're going to interact here. But the quicker way, I guess you would call it. Once you got it set up, the quicker way. Let me get to a port here so I don't get sunk. What I do once I have my aisles finished here, so we got our aisles completed. We got our tins and all that good stuff done. Didn't bother bringing some of those up in Africa to 10. Brought them to a 9. It's close enough. Heck, man. But anyway, so once you start pulling in them 8s and you've got everything you need out of the store for sovereigns, you got everything you need out of there that costs you 8s. Those 8s are just kind of sitting there. Well, you can go into the black market and buy the glass. You can buy the sand. You can buy the shellac and all that kind of stuff for pieces of 8. So definitely use those pieces of 8 for that as well. Understand, it does start to cost pieces of 8 once you hit the level 4 to 5 and then 5 to 6, I believe. It's going to cost you pieces of 8, and it seemed like it started somewhere around 7,000 or 8,000 and tops around 13,000 on those ship upgrades. So you're going to need probably about 30,000 pieces of 8 to upgrade each ship. So yes, it's something costly. No, it's not going to affect me at all. It just gave me something to spend my 8s. I gauged exactly what St. Anne plus the territories I'm currently holding would net me with a consistent pickup. Now, I didn't pick up consistently last season, but where my 8s were tracking, I had tracked pretty well, fine, just keeping track of it in my mind or writing it down, honestly. But you just write down what you're pulling in and all, and I had about a little over 3 million extra 8s at the end of the season that we bought a lot of materials with, and we was able to get another 500,000 8s, so you're looking at 3.5 million worth of 8s. That was just blown on those types of expenses and stuff. Now, keep in mind, I don't have to go and buy a bunch of those piece of 8 blueprints that we had before because we already own them, and they haven't really released any new blueprints. They have new weapons and stuff, but I haven't seen any new blueprints other than that Leviathan armor, which we built one of those earlier today, which was pretty cool. We put that on a sloop build that I'm working on. So you're going to come over here, I just got to show, because I know if I don't show, somebody will say, well, you didn't show me where the black market is, so I want to make sure I cover that. You know who you are. I see your comments, man, and it's no problem. I don't mind walking over there to show you. So you need a Nara. Black market, there's one in Talak Panjar as well. They carry the same stuff, so you can come to this one because this is the one I'm showing today. Alright, so when you go into the black market, you're going to see these commodity items. You're going to have what's called a legendary cache. You might get darts or something like that out of it. This is the weaponry, gear that was from last season that is not available to be purchased this season. You might get it in a legacy cache. So then Worm's Breath, your Orca Mechanism, Gantt Saltpeter, Eel's Twine. You're going to have some of your basic metals, your basic woods. And once you start coming down into this area here, you start getting shark skin, hippo hide, crocodile hide, your Ramies, your Abaca, pure iron. And then, of course, this one's going to have crude saltpeter, shellac, screw mechanisms, and sheet glass. This is one of the best buys here. If you got something that's needing sheet glass and shellac, and you got to turn it to plate glass, you're going to get a pretty decent value. 250 pieces of 8 to buy it. Now, this one here, you get the casting sand and the wood tar, which are nice. Don't really have a need for the cogwheels and lime. Got so much of that from the game, but still a good place to pick this stuff up. If you have the pieces of 8, it's going to cut down on your grind, but definitely be grinding it as well because it's going to cut down on how many 8s you have to spend because we don't know what's coming at the midpoint of this season. We have the Summer Fiesta event coming in. That'll kick off as soon as the Dragon's Regatta is done. So there may be something new coming to the stores. I hope. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys. I am going to hop off of here and test out my new ship.